Hey everybody, welcome back to the series. Thank you so much for joining me in the second video of the Teens Drive WV video lesson program. Today we're going to be talking all about distracted driving and its dangers. Distracted driving is defined as any activity that diverts attention from driving by the NHTSA. This can include a number of actions such as texting, messing with the stereo or other systems in your car, talking to passengers, applying makeup, or even eating. There are four main categories of distraction, and we'll be examining each. The first is visual, and this is when you're looking at something other than the road. The second is auditory, when you're hearing something unrelated to driving, like loud music or having conversations with passengers. The third is manual, when you're manipulating something other than the steering wheel, like the stereo or other controls. And lastly, we have cognitive, when you're thinking about something other than driving, like daydreaming, heavy thinking, or even sleeping. Right off the bat, we're going to look at one of the most dangerous forms of distracted driving, and I'm sure you can guess what it is. Texting while driving has become an immensely prevalent concern despite its recency. In West Virginia alone, studies from previous years revealed that 57% of teens admittedly text and drive. From a larger perspective, 26% of all traffic accidents in West Virginia place blame on distracted driving, and 23% of these crashes are a result of cell phone use. So, what's the big deal? All you need is 5 seconds to glance at your screen and type a quick reply. It seems so simple, but according to Premier Law Group, 5 seconds is the average time that you take your eyes off the road to text. And when driving 55 miles per hour or above, it's enough time to reach the length of a football field or more. West Virginia's current laws prohibit the use of handheld cellular devices for all drivers, and all drivers under the age of 18 who possess a learner's permit from using wireless connection devices. Adult drivers may communicate using hands-free technology. If these laws are violated, you may be fined $100, $200, or even $300, with the possibility of added points to your license on a first, second, and third offense basis, respectively. Now, let's look at some of the preventative measures to avoid the temptation of those distractions. Never use your phone while driving for any purpose other than to report an emergency. If you need to, place your phone in a cup holder or a side pocket so that it is out of sight. You may even wish to silence your ringer or implement the Do Not Disturb while driving feature that some phones have. If you must, make sure that all communication is hands-free and you are above the age of 18 when doing so. Don't multitask. Ensure that your full focus is on the road. Anything that occupies your vision, your ability to hear, or your hands can put you in danger. Avoid eating or drinking. I know this one sounds tough and kind of weird, because especially on long road trips, you need to eat. But again, anything that takes your eyes off of the road and your hands off the wheel can put you in danger. You also run the risk of spills in your car and on yourself. Adjust your controls before you leave. Check to see if your mirrors are in the correct positions, adjust the heat to a comfortable temp, and turn your favorite radio station on before you leave. Doing these tasks before you take your vehicle out of park will decrease the need to mess with your controls later on down the road. Leave earlier. Determine an appropriate departure time and factor in traffic, weather, and road conditions. Make sure that whatever belongings you need to bring with you are around and ready to leave when you are. By rushing around last minute, you are more prone to forgetting things and leaving the house with high levels of stress, which may interfere with your concentration on the road. Lastly, drive well rested. Driving drowsy has been compared to show significant amounts of cognitive impairment, similar to those when driving under the influence. In 2017, there were 90,000 police-reported drowsy drivers in the U.S. Sleep-deprived drivers are more likely to weave between lanes, miss stops, or yield orders, fail to properly signal, and lose the ability to react promptly. Here are some warning signs: excessive yawning, nodding off, decreased memory, trouble keeping your eyes open, or control of your vehicle. Now let's look at some preventative tips. First and foremost, the most important and effective measure is to get a full night's rest. So if you can, prioritize those 8 hours. Avoid driving late at night or very early in the morning. Share driving on long trips if you have multiple adult passengers. Allow yourself time to fully wake up and move your body in the morning. Never get behind the wheel when you're still groggy. Lastly, remember that tips you may have heard, like increasing radio volume or cracking your windows, are not beneficial and will do little to keep you awake long term. In fact, they may pose as additional distractions and decrease your cognitive or auditory awareness. If you do need a short-term booster, you can try a little caffeine, but this is not reliable and should not be used often. That is all I have for you guys about distracted driving. In the next video, we're going to talk about basic car care tips for teens, and I'm hoping you'll join me on that one as well. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.